Honestly, I mean, I was not prepared for how incredible that was. And Bruce, we have to start with you because this was your idea. You've been given a lot of free reign, obviously, with Warner Brothers in DC. This seemed like a jigsaw puzzle that you were putting together. Like you had to put the pieces and create the pieces before you put the puzzle together. Almost. What was the idea for this thing?
Yeah, it originally started as an idea. Basically. The very first idea was that it was an idea on how to reboot the Justice League TV series, the animated TV series, and then it kind of got out of hand. I started thinking, you know, what would I do differently, you know, rather than just doing something cosmetic by changing the costumes or making them all kids or something, and I thought about, you know, what if I was thinking back to the Silver Age Flash and Green Lantern and how they were really different from the Gold Age versions where they basically kept the name and the gimmick and then threw everything else out. And I thought, well, what if you use that same kind of methodology with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman? And like I said, it kind of got out of hand. Here we are.
So you were dreaming this up for how long?
You know, it was actually, I came up with the idea. I came up with the idea for Superman, Batman, and we hadn't quite figured out Wonder Woman yet. I pitched it to both DC Comics and my boss at Register, and they both liked the idea, but they thought that it would be probably a little bit too outside the box for a TV series. They thought, well, it might be a good one-off direct-to-video, and that's ultimately what it became. And we pitched it to the home video people. They kind of liked the idea really quick, and then so Alan and I had to kind of sit down and figure out how to make it all work.
Alan, when Bruce came to you with this concept, what were some of your initial thoughts? I mean, you've pretty much served up these characters in every kind of flavor, but nothing like this.
I was excited. Bruce showed me the drawings that he had. He had drawings already. I don't think the trench coat was on Superman.
No.
But you know, after working for 25 years with Bruce and working on, both of us working on these heroes for so long, it was great to have just a new set of heroes going on. And these heroes didn't have the same code as the old heroes had. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing all Elseworld stuff.
You guys are really old.
Now, Sam, you got a chance to direct this movie, and I know you've worked on other superhero films in the past and other animated superhero films in the past. This seemed to be almost free reign with the action and with the violence and the kind of mature themes. Was this something you could revel in and have a lot of fun with? So you could kind of go anywhere with it?
Yeah, but still, it's Bruce's baby. So
yeah.
I had to okay everything through Bruce first. But there were things that we talked about, just a little violence and, you know, how far we could go. Was that we would do this.
Yeah, it had to make sense.
But it was a lot of fun because it was uncharted territory.
Yes.
New vision for each character. So it was kind of creative.
Bruce, you worked in The Metal Men.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love The Metal Men. I've always thought they were just an underutilized, underloved property, so it was so cool to see them come back. And was that a Kirby reference there with the new gods? Was we were trying to work all of that into there as well?
Well, the thing is that when we were, like I said, we came up with the idea for Superman being the son of Zod pretty quickly, and then the idea of Batman being a vampire was kind of a natural. And then Alan and I kind of struggled a little bit with Wonder Woman, because originally we kind of spun our wheels for a while. We were trying to keep her a little bit closer to the Greek mythology-based Wonder Woman from the comics. And it just really wasn't working for us. It was just not different enough from the traditional Wonder Woman. And then Alan was looking at the drawing and he went, you know, she kind of looks like a Kirby drawing. She could be one of the new gods. And it was just like, of course. So yeah, it's, you know, I love that whole fourth world thing.
The costumes are a little weird, you know, for us traditionalists that have grown up with these characters. You guys kind of set the tone with the Batman animated series. We've never seen the characters look like this. And I have to tell you, when I first saw the images, I'm like, that's Batman and Superman. How long did it take for you to kind of get the look and the style, and then to see them all animated the way that they are?
You know, I mean, all of these movies, you know, unfortunately, we don't really ever have enough time to, like, you know, it's not like doing like a real movie, like a you know, big budget live action movie. I mean, we had to like kind of hit the ground running with these things. So the development of it was pretty quick. Then we did all the pre-production as we months and then ship it overseas, and had to wait for it to come back.
Awesome. Andrea, fantastic casting.
Thank you.
You picked some incredible actors here, and some of them are first time. Tomorrow, but Andrea, I want to sort of hear about the casting process and some of the choices. Obviously, these are different interpretations of these characters, so that gives you some creative freedom.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we were working on a project that no one had preconceived ideas about because it was an original story. When we do projects that are based on graphic novels or a series of comic books, when we read them as fans or working on them, you hear in your head a certain sound for it, and you kind of have a preconceived notion. This was completely fresh canvas. And so we could look at other actors that we hadn't worked with that we wanted to, and we could look at actors that we haven't want to work with again. And the truth is that Bruce and I personally had many, many times gone out to Michael C. Hall and Benjamin Bratt for various projects, and I think it's great that they weren't available for those times because these characters, for me, have those actors' voices were exactly right. I think Michael C. Hall as this particular Batman is exactly right. It's kind of dark and contained and clipped. Physically, he sounds like, we've had Batmen that are huge, right? Big-chested, enormous, and we've had some that are very slim, and this vocal quality.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like a Kevin Conroy.
No, not at all. Very different. So I didn't have that feeling, I can't use Kevin. Because I always feel that when it comes to Batman. Can't use Kevin. But Michael I loved, and Benjamin Bratt, again, knowing that we had this character that was raised by a Hispanic couple. We said, we need to have someone who's fluent and can speak. And then you always want to, we always bring in new people. We always try to bring in new actors who haven't done this before. And that's a process that requires, we already know they're good actors. We've seen their work. I can teach them mic technique and the specifics to voiceover acting in a single session. But you want to round out the cast with people that you've worked with before and have strong, good, wonderful actors like Tommy Howell, like Patrick Brewster. We've worked together before. Tomorrow we hadn't worked together. This was an absolute treat. And what I loved was she was so incredibly good. And it wasn't until after the session that she told me how purely terrified she was. Absolute, abject terror. And I thought, well, it didn't show up in her performance that day, it didn't show up in the end performance. And then, 8, 9 months later, we do the ADR. She came back and was still terrified. Didn't have any more confidence that she was doing a good job. And I had to just constantly tell her, you're doing great, you're doing exactly right. And as I was sitting behind you during the screening, I saw you nudge Paget as I heard her go, and I thought that was probably 20 takes to get her to get through that. But it was the end result was exactly right. So, we filled this out with a lot of actors that we like playing before, like Jason Isaacs as Lex Luthor. And just, there's probably, 25, 30 actors in this piece, T. Bradley Baker, and people that we just love to work with. So it was nice to bring in the old and the new.
You brought Richard Chamberlain into this.
I know Richard Chamberlain. What was that?
You know who Richard Chamberlain is, guys? There was a show called Dr. Kildare. He was the biggest heartthrob and just such a wonderful actor. Shogun? Beautiful, beautiful actor. So lovely to come.
Amazing. Well, Tommy, tell us about your experience. You're playing the complete jerk in this movie. Keep it secret from most people. Yeah, the complete jerk. Partial.
I love that. I love a good villain. I think, a good bad guy makes the good guys look better. But the humanity that existed in Will and the relationship between he and Kurt and the girl and the triangle there, and it was much more personal than you would get in a film like this. And I really like that. And I also like playing flawed characters occasionally. And finding the humanity within that, I think, is really fun. And so, I didn't really see him as a bad guy. He just had different goals.
Yes, a little twisted. He likes to build his friends.
Nanites.
With nanites.
Organic nanites. They'll work wonders.
Paget, your Lois Lane doesn't really like her Superman.
Yeah, it was, I didn't understand what was going on when I went to record it. I was like, something's crazy is happening here today. What is this story? And it's exciting to see it finalized now and go, wow, this is wild.
It's also cool, though, that in the midst of the animosity and the skepticism, you also see there is an attraction there, you know, and it's happening. That must have been an interesting dynamic to bring to the read.
Yeah, that's all Andrea. She can coax out of you what she knows needs to be there, even if you don't know what you need to be doing.
Right.
I mean, she's extraordinary at that. And when I saw the film, oh, this is bleeding through from underneath. Like there still is some kind of sassy. Something's going on here.
Awesome. Well, all three of the new introductions of these iconic characters were wonderful, but I think the Wonder Woman character in this movie was absolutely exceptional. It must have been such a thrill for you. Wonder Woman. Tamara, tell us about that experience, getting the call and being able to portray this character.
Well, getting the call, I thought someone was playing a joke on me. Of course, before they could finish the sentence, yes. Yes. And then didn't realize that I was going to be in an alternate universe, guys. So I, of course, went in purely terrified and with my preconceived notions of how she was supposed to sound. And Andrea and Bruce said, throw that all out the window and go for it. Andrea literally held my hand and made it happen.
You've got some real despair in this. You think that you're going to be changing the world that you're from into a better place, and all of that just crashes and burns. So you've got to kind of portray the despair, but you're also ferocious. And what was more difficult for you?
You know what? I think that vulnerability was actually the most difficult.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you were wonderful. Your voice is absolutely wonderful. Perfect choice. Perfect casting. Bruce, you set the stage for more. Is that the plan? I mean, you killed off all the scientists.
I know.
A lot of superheroes.
There's so many times when we're plotting out news stories. Oh yeah, that'd be really close. Oh no, we killed him. But that doesn't. Oh no, Silas Stone is dead. So, but yeah, we have. We're planning on doing a 10 or 13 episode web series, kind of similar to the Three Guys. So we'll see more of these characters, plus new members of the Justice League that will be kind of reimagined in the same kind of weird, twisted way that we did this movie. So it's going to be kind of fun.
Well, tell us about that, because this is a Justice League movie, and in addition to the three, the Trinity, we're used to seeing a lot more superheroes moving up there, and you gave us some, or supervillains, as they turned out this time. But who was on the chopping block? Who did you end up having to put on the cutting room floor?
Well, you know, we actually, for the movie itself, we early on realized that if we were going to have to introduce these new characters and then give them all origin stories, we just weren't going to have time to do more than just Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So even though we know that's pretty small for a league, technically, we figured we kind of needed to cut it off with the big three. We figured hopefully the movie will do well enough, because you guys are all going to go out and buy multiple copies and give to your friends. Then it'll do well enough that they'll want to do more stories, and we can go deeper into the bench.
This is one of those movies, and I don't know if this was orchestrated from the beginning, but because it's so unique and different, and there are so many sort of inside little tips and hints, it demands repeat viewings. I want to watch it again, and actually you guys tonight, if we are going to play the movie again, so you can watch it again. But I think it's also such a brave, direction for DC and Warner Brothers to go, that I really want to encourage people to tell people about this.
Yeah, I have to say, all props to the home video people, because this is actually a really huge gamble for them, because, I mean, it says Justice League on the title, but literally when you look at the package art, it's like, I'm sure moms at Target are going to go, that's Superman? I don't know. So, I mean, it's definitely a marketing challenge, so it was very brave of them, and I'm really grateful that they showed enough confidence in our abilities and in the concept to kind of go forward with it. So yeah, you guys are all going to pay it back.
Yes.
By watching this movie multiple times.
Yes.
Tell your friends.
And watch the web series and comment on the web series. Do you guys know if there are plans to maybe take some of this stuff to the books, or are there going to be action figures based on?
There actually are going to be action figures, and for that. And there is a comic book spin-off series which is actually starting to debut online. So right now it's available digitally, I think once a week, twice a week, something like that. And then it's going to be released on hard copy floppies.
Tamara, Tommy, and Pageant, how many action figures do you each want? We should start.
I know, wouldn't that be cool?
I want 5. Sounds good, 5.
Do you guys have any action figures of characters that you've played before?
I have a bobblehead.
You have a bobblehead.
Good job.
From Criminal Minds.
Oh, yeah.
My FBI profile bobblehead dog.
That's way better than that.
Does that come into your mind when you take a role like this, where you're in the mythology inside of this universe, so that you're in a big sandbox now? You're part of history in a way, right? At least here in this space.
Yes.
Everybody's very aware, right? Yes. Does that come into play? Does that sort of? I guess that must make you a little nervous when you step up to the mic a little bit sometimes, if you think about it too much.
Thank goodness I didn't think about it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Lois Lane, I mean, she's iconic. She's important to me, so it's a little scary, and I just don't want to be fired. I hope you like what I did. I love doing it, and it was really exciting to do this. Thank you.
Well, Alan, you guys pushed, I think, the story very far with this. Were there elements that maybe were a little too far, that you had to kind of rein everybody in? Did it get too dark?
Yeah. Actually, what I'm proud of is that it's a mystery story.
Yeah.
We haven't done many mystery stories. And actually, that's what, when we were talking together and writing, and it was, that's when it started all to gel. It became a mystery story. And I hope you guys are guessing all the way to the reveal. But I also want to say that it's a wash in DC characters. I mean, all those scientists who died in that house, they are specific scientists from Tennessee. I think the kid in the morgue, that's Jimmy Olsen. And so everybody is being used in some way. You have to sort of study it and really look at it closely, but it's all DC. So.
Well, I mean, you're reimagining everybody, so how long does it take to kind of agree? And do you guys have a whole committee of people that have to say, okay, we can go in that direction, or was it pretty much you two?
I mean, that's the beauty of this whole concept is anytime we do anything that's directly based on DC characters, DC comics, and they're always great to work with. They're never like, oh, you can't do that because blah, 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 blah. But they will sometimes stop us from going too far. And here, because these are all new characters, they can't come to us and say, oh, well, Batman would never do that. It's like, well, how do you know? Because Batman might. So it's actually kind of cool to there's really no rules anymore. It's like, all bets are off.
Did you start with Batman, or did you start with Superman, or?
Superman,
yeah,
Batman, and then we struggled to figure out Wonder Woman before, and then Eureka Woman.
Well, I bet some of you have some questions for this panel, and I encourage you to step up to the microphone. There are going to be some really cool giveaways, so come up with some good questions, okay? Have we got somebody up there already? You can go right ahead. Hold on, we gotta hear the mic. Hold on, we're gonna turn on the mic.
Yeah, we're gonna turn your mic on because we can't hear you. Unless you want to just shout really loud.
Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Ken Young from Singapore. First of all, I want to say how much I enjoyed seeing this art style in animation again.
Awesome.
That was really a thrill. I asked about the process of developing an Elseworld, an alternate universe. How much do you decide to keep and how much you decide to reinvent? Is there a point where you have to rein yourself back from changing too much, or did you really want to go all the way with this? Thank you.
No, it's so much fun to mess around with these characters that there's no stopping us once we get going. I mean, it's just too much fun. So yeah, we haven't ever gotten to a point yet where we go, oh no, that's too far. it's like, yeah, there's, you know, the horizon's way out there. We just keep running towards it.
Awesome. Someone else want to ask a question?
Where did everybody go?
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
My name's Vincent. It's really good to see you back producing Bruce Tim. I know you retired a little while ago. My question is, sorry.
Should I take a little nap now?
My question is, the title's Justice League, Gods and Monsters. With the Justice League, do you consider them more as gods or monsters?
I don't have a good answer for that question. Kind of monstrous and godly at the same time.
Both.
Superman.
Oh, yes. Hello. I was hearing how you're having difficulty connecting Wonder Woman to her Greco-Roman roots, and thus you decided to use the more fourth world approach. But when you were researching and trying to figure out, did you ever consider trying to make her and turn her into Nubia, who was like an Amazon who was kidnapped by Ares and became Ares' champion in the comics?
No. No, we didn't think about that. I mean, you know, if I'd known about that, I might have. But, you know, honestly, it didn't cross our minds. We actually, what we did do is, we thought we were so clever, we thought, well, okay, instead of her being the daughter of Hippolyta, we were going to go, oh, she's going to be the daughter of Zeus. So then it'd be like, kind of like Thor and Odin, you know, having like a contentious relationship with her dad and everything. And then we were patting ourselves on the back, and then like later that week they announced that after the New 52 reboot, Wonder Woman was going to be the daughter of Zeus, and we're like, damn. We had to go back to the drawing board.
You got a question with that guy's phone number.
Hi. So, you had a ton of awesome Easter eggs in there, and I was just wondering, what was your decision process to putting in some of those super cool Easter eggs?
By the way, awesome costume.
Awesome, yeah.
We're nerds. We're really nerds. That's how we help it.
So everything that's in there is because we're nerds.
Superman again.
Bruce, when did you get the idea to turn Lex into Metron? When Metron took Lex to that big wall? And can you give us Red Sun?
Red Sun? I would love to give you Red Sun. I think that's one of my favorite Elseworlds titles. It comes up in conversation every now and then. Maybe one of these days. Now, again, if we, to make it possible for us to do more Elseworlds type titles, what do you guys have to do?
Right.
Okay. But yeah, Red Sun, maybe.
Good question.
About Metron, that just kind of came up while we were beating out the story, and we thought, I think that was your idea, that he was going to go off and explore the stars with Wonder Woman, and we thought, oh, and he's already in a weird chair, so we can give him a new chair, and he can become Metron. And it's just like, you know, I know, we're nerds. It happens.
Next question.
Hi. First off, it was really awesome to see Bruce Timm's style again.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Very
I want to know, is there any plans to do a new Justice League type TV series? Possibly of Wally West?
Are you back, Bruce? Are you back in this?
I can honestly say I'm not doing a new Justice League series for TV yet.
Ooh.
You never know. Maybe
Not yet.
Not right now.
Good question. Okay. Next.
I've seen some people online commenting about Bruce, this is for you, Bruce Timm. I've seen people commenting online about the possibility of you being in charge of the DC cinematic universe. So, has Warner Brothers contacted you in any way about that?
Before I answer that question, I have to ask, what is that you're holding? Is that a Captain Marvel cat?
Captain Marvel penguin.
Yeah.
No, they have not sadly contacted me and given me the keys to the Batmobile. No. A sort of campaign.
Yes. Good question.
Joe, clap our hands.
Next question.
All right. My name is Dan. I have a question for Bruce also. So I noticed that there was a quick mention of Ivy in there, and I was just wondering if you were going to reimagine, or if you could, what would you reimagine with the Batman villains?
Oh, I can't tell you that. It spoils everything. But they'll be cool. Questions for our wonderful cast.
Next question.
So I feel like we got some pretty good closure with regards to the major conflicts in Batman and Superman's backstory. But then with Wonder Woman, we get her backstory, but we don't really see what happens with it. And then at the end, she sort of goes off with Lex. Is that going to be addressed in the web series? How is that going to tie back in with Batman and Superman, who are obviously still back on Earth?
Maybe. I can't tell you these things.
He's a master of that vague answer. It's the best. All right, Nightwing.
Hey guys, so Bruce, you said that this project was done very much in the vein of the transition from Golden Age to Silver Age, sort of taking the root of the character and bringing, reinterpreting.
Yeah.
So, but when in that transition from Golden to Silver Age, it was very much a product of its time. I mean, Hawkman went from being a reincarnated Egyptian prince to, in the space age, he's suddenly a
Everything's
space
all space agey, yeah. Right.
So, what are you pulling from our times to in this new interpretation of classic characters?
Smartphones? I honestly hadn't given it that much thought. I don't know, Alan. Oh, man. What was on your mind? What in the modern world informs these characters? Just how horrible everything is now? What a miserable world we live in. They're going to make superheroes all miserable and grim and dark.
Well, I think it's more gray in this movie.
Gray, that's a good word.
Right? I think you're projecting these characters kind of as if they had been imagined today, right? That's my take. Okay. Good question. All right, good question. Next.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I'd just like to start off by saying, Pat Brewster, it is an honor to be in the same room with you.
Nice.
Oh, thanks, Emily. And my question is for everyone. What kind of fears did you have coming into something with a project that's so different from the traditional stuff we're used to seeing?
That you wouldn't like it. That's the biggest fear. It's always that it somehow doesn't go over. But I think ultimately we all just gave it our best, and all we can do is, in our own nerddom, create what we want to see, and hope that you guys come along with us for the ride. But that's the biggest fear, is that nobody's going to like what we do.
You all answered?
That's the answer for all of us. We all just want to do a good job. It's exciting, and it's a beautiful universe to be a part of. So I think we all just feel a pressure to do a good job for the people who love these movies. We want to provide this new movie and a new take on what's happening.
And panels.
And panels. Absolutely, panels. Next question, my friend.
Hi, my name is Robbie, and I'm wondering, in the Gods and Monsters universe, is there a Bruce Wayne? And if so, will we see him in the web series?
Good question.
There definitely is Bruce Wayne. He did not parents did not go and get murdered in Crime Alley, so he did not become Batman. But he does exist, unlike Kal-El, who was never conceived. And, you know, we talked quite a bit about, like, well, what is Bruce Wayne doing in this universe? Is he, you know, a garbage collector?
Yes.
Is he, you know, I don't know what he is. So, once we figure out exactly what he is, you might see him in the web series.
Excellent question. Next.
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm a huge fan of all of your work, especially you, Bruce Timm. You've been an inspiration to me since I was like 6 years old. In fact, I'm heading off to college this fall, and I hope to write some graphic novels or even go into animation.
Awesome.
And I just really want to know what kind of advice you'd have for somebody going into this. Is it really just reinvent some really great stories, or what have you?
I'll tell you the advice I give every artist who asks me, you know, what the secret is of success in animation or comics or whatever. And the truth of the matter is there really is no one sure path to, you know, success in the art world. My only advice I give you is to draw, and then draw some more. Draw until you're so darn good that they can't afford not to hire you. If you're good enough, they will hire you. That's really what I'm going to do.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Hi, big shout out to Andrea, Sam, Alan, and Bruce. Without Batman the Animated Series, I wouldn't be here, so this is kind of a huge deal for me to talk to you guys. My question is, do any of you have any upcoming projects that I should be stoked about?
That's a very good question.
Right? I'm excited to hear about it.
That's an excellent question. I have here my cheat sheet of some movies that are coming up later this year. Everything's already been announced, but Batman Bad Blood is an original story coming out later this year, which introduces Batwoman. Nice. Into our animated continuity. So who's this thing? 2016, excuse me. 2016, okay. My puppet master, holding my strings. And then also Justice League versus Titans. There's another original story, not based on a graphic novel, coming in 2016. Yes? Okay. Give it a thumbs up. And it sounds like I'm going to be back here next year in this hall with another movie that Sam and I have already worked on, which is based on a comic which you may have heard of called The Killing Joke.
What? No way! Whoa! Woo!
So there's that to look forward to. So yeah, it's one of those projects that keeps coming up. People keep requesting that we do it, and once they get it, they regret that they got it. But it's pretty strong medicine.
So that's the Friday.
We're really excited about it.
2016.
2016.
So like you're all going to be back for that next year. Robin, happy 75th, by the way. You look great.
First off, Andrea, I hope to see you in the future because I hope to become a voice actor. And Thomas, I really loved your reverse flash, and he's one of the reasons why I love the reverse flash now. Now, my question is, the DC, the Justice League always tends to go up against a big monster or god, so like Darkseid. So I was wondering if there was any plan of them taking on the Allfather.
The what?
The Allfather.
Oh, the Allfather.
Yes.
No. I don't think so.
I can see how meetings go with you.
Make that statement.
All right, next question.
Hi, my name's David, and they told me to tell you that I'm the last question.
All right, good.
All right, better be a good one.
All right. Themyscira and the Amazons, do they exist? Because my ear was peeled all throughout that for some hint, and no talk of that tournament to send anyone to Man's World?
All right, that wasn't a very good question, so I'm going to give you one more. No, right. I mean, I don't know. We don't know. Again, it's like the Bruce Wayne thing. We don't really know because we're just getting into the writing of the second season. But, you know, we're going to give you one more question. Come on.
Okay, the monster that Superman fought at the end, was that supposed to be Doomsday?
No, it was just a big amalgam of all the other metal men.
Yeah, it was a metal band.
One more.
You can do it, you can do it.
We believe in you.
Yeah, that actually is a good point.
What's that?
What was Superman's proper name? What was the name they gave him?
Excellent.
There you go.
You know, we realized after we did the movie that we never got around to giving him a Clark Kent name. It just didn't. It didn't come up in the course of the story because we didn't deal with his whole
alter ego
Earth life.
Yeah.
So when we were plotting out the comic, I realized, you know, we're going to have to give him a name. And I thought about a zillion names, and I didn't want it to be too common or too cutesy. So if you guys have read the comic online, you know already that his name is Hernan Guerra. So that's his Clark Kent.
Hernan Guerra. Very cool. Let's give it up for all of our panelists. Incredible work. Absolutely. And what do we all have to remember? Right? The movie comes out on Blu-ray and DVD July 28th. It's in digital stores next week. Will and Jonah, can you come to the left of the stage? There were a couple of people that asked some questions. And we're going to run the movie again for all of you.
You have the power to wipe out the human race, and I have to destroy you. Oh, I see you guys are also doing a superhero against superhero movie. Well, 2016 is gonna be the language! Anyway, Affleck, what made you jump ship? I don't